Hello and welcome to part 3 in this series of videos. My name is David and in this video I'm going to take you through how to unpack and sight the VaultFlex 3-tier battery cabinet. And here it is in all its unpacked glory. Now, depending on how it's shipped, the cabinet may arrive in a number of ways. This one came in a crate, but yours may come wrapped on a pallet. However it arrives, you will need to check it for any visible signs of damage to the packaging or the unit itself. If you notice anything wrong, then notify the carrier immediately. If you're happy with the delivery, carefully remove whatever outer packaging there is. Now, a VaultFlex cabinet like this one will always come delivered on a pallet. So you'll need to remove the 2 retaining bolts inside the front door. To open the door, you'll need a 7/16 or 11mm socket to operate the quarter-turn bolt. You can then open the door and secure it in the open position using the stay at the bottom. Okay, once inside, you will find the bolts here and here. And you'll need a 3/4 inch or 19mm socket and spanner to remove these. Around the back of the cabinet there are 2 access covers. Now you'll need a TORX T25 security bit to remove the TORX security screws from these covers. Once removed, you'll see 2 bolts here and here, again requiring a 3/4 inch or 19mm socket to remove. Just make sure when you're removing these 2 final bolts that the cabinet is stable and level, because if not, it may be in danger of tipping over. So once you've removed the pallet and the packaging material, you should be left with the cabinet as we have here. Inside, you should find the installation manual. Now, I know it's tempting just to get stuck in, but please take a moment to read through this and keep it to hand, as my help in these videos is only meant as a guide and not a replacement for the manual. Also inside, you should find something that looks like a yoga mat. Now, yoga is obviously a very keen interest of mine, as you can see. What? Keep this mat safe, as it is actually the gasket that is placed underneath the cabinet when fitted onto a concrete pad. Also, you will find a packet containing the lifting brackets. You need to fit the lifting bracket into these holes using a 9/16 or 14mm socket. Now, we're not going to be lifting this cabinet, so please refer to the manual for the fitting details and lifting procedure. And please, don't try and lift this cabinet with the batteries or other equipment installed, as these brackets are designed only for the safe lifting of the cabinet, and use them to lift heavier loads could damage the cabinet and you. So please don't try it. Okay, so there's our cabinet unpacked and ready to go. So where are you going to put it? Now, these are great cabinets and are designed to give you years of trouble-free service, but a little consideration now over site selection will help you get even more out of it. There's a number of things which need to be considered when selecting a suitable site. Now, I'm not going to go through them all, as this depends on site conditions and where you are in the world, but the manual lists these in detail. So have a look through and consider these when choosing a suitable site, or even when assessing a site that has already been selected. Okay, so once you've selected a site, you need to ensure it is mounted correctly. Again, this depends on site and location, so please check the installation manual for details. The most common type of mounting is on a concrete pad, which is what we're going to assume for the purposes of this video. The concrete pad should have a minimum of 1/2 inch that's 13mm, anchored hardware in the bolt pattern given in the mounting footprint in the installation manual. When lifting the cabinet onto the anchored bolts, don't forget to include the pad gasket supplied with the cabinet. And remember, don't try and lift the cabinet with batteries or other equipment installed. It's dangerous to the cabinet and you, so don't do it. Once the bolts have been tightened to the correct torque for the hardware supplied, you can start the install, but not before a nice cup of tea. I'll see you in part 4. Cup of tea, anyone? Tea? In summary, check carefully for any transit damage. Check the cabinet is stable before removing from the pallet by undoing the 4 securing bolts. Find and read the installation manual and keep it to hand. Locate the lifting brackets and pad gasket. Do not attempt to lift the cabinet when loaded with batteries or equipment. Carefully consider the correct sighting of the cabinet. Don't forget the pad gasket supplied when mounting on the concrete pad.